Hello, Capricorn and Capricorn Rising. I hope that you're having a great start to the month. And for this May 2016 reading, of course, we're going to be looking at the retrograde. But I want to sort of help you with this to see it as an opportunity, dispel any sort of concerns that you might be having about it. Because in my experience, and actually my experience with retrograde just so far, it's been very positive. All that's required as we go through retrograde is to just be a little bit clearer in the way that we think and that we sort of, check in with others to make sure that they're receiving the information. But otherwise, it's another month, so you're going to get through it. Your first card that we got, which was channeled information that I pulled before I did the reading, is to level or clear things away. So not sort of like taking a level and balancing it, but more like level down. So think about if you have a house and you need to sort of like tear down the structure, level out the ground and start again. For many of you this month, particularly in the areas of business and relationships, it's time to start and basically not just start fresh, but lay new groundwork. Level it, make sure that it's a fair and a positive experience for both you and the other person, and clear anything that's left that's sort of sitting around that shouldn't be there anymore. So use retrograde to create a level playing field, if you will. Before we get into the card reading, this month, instead of using a catalyst card, which ties everything together, I'm going to use a trigger card and an opportunity, or shadow and light card. For those of you that are new to me, every month I extend the forecast to include health, wealth, love, and destiny. And I have one card that sort of brings them all together. This month, since we have retrograde, it's a little more complicated, and there's always going to be sort of like something that can trigger you and another thing that can pull you into a more beneficial trajectory. So we want to focus on the latter, but we need to understand the first. So let's look at the first thing that I talked about, which was basically emotional and situational triggers that could exist in your life, things that are coming up that are bringing out sometimes trickier aspects of your personality. So basically, we all have shadow and light. So let's see what your shadow opportunity is this month. So we have travel. Many of you are going to want to simply run away from a situation, or you may be asked to do more like remote work than you're used to be doing. So whatever side of the coin you sit on, it feels like distance and travel is going to be that trigger, what sort of takes your otherwise very logical and good business mind and could be pulling it in a different direction. Let's look at the opportunity, and we'll get much more clarity on these when we look at the cards themselves, but we have to start first with what's coming through. Beautiful card on this one. It says the perfection of your life. So what you really should be focusing on this month is looking more at a holistic view, because you'll see this card with the beautiful sort of cedars in the background, but it's actually about how's all of this connected, how is it bringing you closer to your true purpose, and what can you do to sort of like stay out of the clouds, stay out of the fog, and understand where you're at. So think on a much bigger scale, and maybe make peace with the fact that travel is actually going to bring you closer to your soul's purpose, because these are both cards of travel and movement. Okay? So let's look now at the cards themselves and see what is coming through as general guidance for you. 2 cards want to come up in the center. Okay, so the crowning card, even though I haven't pulled everything, is the Fool. And the Fool is actually about, it can be a physical move, it can be about stepping out on your own, sometimes running away, because that was the first thing that I saw with the travel card that I pulled for your sort of trigger. But let's just see where it's going to take you. Okay. So with the 7 of Pentacles, it's actually a very good card, but it indicates working from a period where maybe you didn't have as much money as you wanted. You might have been paying down some bills. If you're saving, you haven't met all your goals yet. But overall, I mean, you can actually see, as represented here, He's busy working to make everything better, to reap the reward in the long term. So a Seven of Pentacles card is all about you sort of being in the midst of improvement. And since it's upright, I think you're aware of it and you don't need a reminder. But I would just say, take a moment to just celebrate how far you've come, not how much you have to do, okay? And just keep up the hard work here. You're making good strides. I'd much rather see this than some other cards that could have been in the middle. Like, well, with the Two of Pentacles, in the recent past, what it's showing me is your challenge this retrograde is to continue to balance needs with wants, basically. And again, we see travel. So for those of you that are trying to plan a vacation, I would wait about 3 months and allow your financial situation to get a little more stable. Since I pulled this card that says level, well, I mean, it's actually one that I channeled. What it's telling me is that many of you maybe had to let go of, because we look in your deep past and we see the world. Many of you had to walk away from, let go. Maybe it's almost like you're starting brand new. And that can be very frustrating sometimes because you want to immediately have all the security, all the opportunity, all the money that you had before. And this month during retrograde, you're going to be challenged to look at the two sides of the coin here. One is that you're in the process of rebuilding and you're not that far away from what you had. So my advice to you this month is to focus on the progress made and that there's not as much to go as you think there may be. So the Fool in reverse is actually a little bit of a warning not to run away from problems this month. That also, if you have to travel, there may not be any way to avoid it. So it's something that you might have to just deal with. I don't see any inherent danger or negativity associated with it. So it seems more of a card where you just have to sort of work through some of those, thoughts of frustration or whatever that might come up. This is coming through for a lot of people this month. The crossing card in the center was the Knight of Swords, and that's all about not speaking too quickly, too harshly, too directly. It's really about taking your time and being cognizant, because this illustration in the background is dangerously close to the Tower. So what you want to make sure with this month is that you're really weigh your words and the way they're coming out. You also may have, for some of you, this can represent legal issues, even though it's not justice. It is bringing through like a Libra feel for me. So, or a sort of justice type feel, which is why I associated it. So if you are trying to sort of finish a legal battle or contract, it'll of course be trickier in retrograde, but I do see money underneath it, and I see like it's a positive outcome. Whatever you receive through this, it's enough to secure your future. It may not be everything you want, but it may be what you need. Okay, it's a great month for those of you that are single to date. It's a great month for if you need to look for a new job. This is a really good time to go out and interview, because people are going to resonate with your personality, with what you have to bring. The other thing that comes through for this for existing relationships is if you haven't sort of set down the boundaries of, are we exclusive? You should, because the other person could be questioning and or maybe thinking, all right, we haven't talked about it. So you want to make sure that you're clear, like, I'm interested in you and I'd like to be exclusive. Otherwise, this is a card showing that eyes and hearts may wander, so I don't want that to happen if it's something that you're interested in. The reason I mention that is when I look in the environment card, it looks like a great time to talk about a future together with somebody, whether you're starting brand new or you're already in a relationship and want to make future plans. This month is sort of allowing for that, and it's going to be throughout the whole month. So if you want to wait until it's the end so that retrograde is less sort of potent, that's completely your prerogative, but it looks like it's good throughout the month. What your challenge will probably be over the first 2 weeks is to deal with any sort of existing relationship issues. This can include family and loved ones, and basically, like I said, clearing the air. Having a conversation. I mean, I just recently did this with a friend saying, I haven't heard from you in a long time. I hope everything's okay, everything's good here. And it ended up being really positive because nothing was wrong, but sometimes both people are busy and it's great you can reconnect. And I mean, the basis of this card is mutual admiration and connection. So you sometimes just have to help that person reconnect. You have to do your part sometimes on these things. So overall, pretty positive for you. Let's extend your forecast and take a look now at what's coming through for health and well-being. I always like to stress that this card includes mind, body, and spirit. It's interesting, I shuffle, but I've been getting a lot of similar cards this month, which is just confirmation that retrograde has a similar message for a lot of people. So for you, it's about taking care of yourself, not putting in too many hours at work, not sort of like burning all cylinders, doing 5-hour energy drinks, etc. You need to take care of yourself. You need to spend time with your family if you have one, and if you don't, spend time with your pets or yourself and nurture yourself. Do something that you love, because it's going to make you more productive. That's what the flowers are representing here. Let's take a look at wealth and finance for you and see what your message and opportunity is with regards to wealth. So we have here bodies of water, which it's an interesting card. If you read the bottom, it says, this is, again, it's going to feed into rest, because this is about going to lake, water, etc. to recharge. But I also see it as a flow of prosperity. So through sleep and through self-care, you're going to be able to transcend any challenges at work, and you're going to be able to basically flow a lot easier between difficult situations or tasks that you're given. So very common, very similar message this month of taking care of yourself, sleeping, and not getting in the way of things flowing. Because the one thing with this body of water, I actually saw stagnation. So I want to make sure that if there's anything in your life wealth related, this can include a 401k or retirement fund of some sort, make sure that it's performing well and that the investments are meeting your expectations. For love and relationships, beautiful. I don't know if I've pulled it from this deck before, but it says new vitality. And that's what I was talking about here, is finding a new way to look at it, realizing there is love at the core of anything, even if there's been an argument. And that most of these cards are really positive. The Four of Wands showing that you have a stable foundation if you choose to sort of continue with it. And at the very least, I see a very good friendship. Great month for networking. And you have so much to offer. That's the rainbow here. And it's also, it's sort of an ace card here too. So I feel like it's a great time for you to start new, start fresh, going back to that idea of leveling everything. Finally, let's take a look at what's coming through for your destiny or your opportunity. Another card that has been coming up a lot, ancestors. So reaching out to friends, relatives, and also on a spiritual level, reaching out to your own ancestors and saying, I'm ready for a change. Can you support me? Can you give me the comfort and the clarity that I need to sort of move forward? There's a lot of help around you. The ancestor card is also the Three of Wands here. It's connected to that. So your friends are your family. Your family can include all age ranges, but don't limit it to just your peers. What I see here is younger and older, so don't underestimate the extended family that you have. I want to focus just a little bit on the outcome card here, which is the Four of Pentacles. And what this is really saying is try not to be too conservative is one word that came to mind. There's another one where it's like too protective of what you think is like how's the best way I can put this? If you think that there's no way out of a situation, no way will exist. If you are used to not having something, you'll never open up the opportunity for it to exist either. So you want to be very open-minded, very welcoming, and try to open your heart to new ideas and new opportunities. Because this is a card of pulling back, holding back, being too conservative, being too protective. In the areas of money, I don't mind you not spending. That's a good thing. But be creative in how maybe you could make new money and welcome the opportunity for new money to come to you. Okay? Let's summarize. Your central card is building and improving finances. There's a Two of Pentacles and a Four of Pentacles saying that it will be a struggle, but it will be one that you're able to balance through good decision making. The top card is the Fool reversed, saying that you can't really run away from things. You really want to focus on the clarity of communications this month. For many of you, you've just walked away from something big or something started new. And so this month is about seeing that through. You have to let it happen. You can't walk away just yet. Not beating yourself up if you have sort of like, whether it's claiming bankruptcy, starting a new business, starting a new job, you have to pay your dues and allow time and energy to sort of take its own course. Don't rush it. There's room for reparation, like for things to actually be to be improved in regards to your relationships. So don't hold back if you need to have a conversation to sort of clear the air, to talk about the nature of your relationship. Don't be too conservative. Finally, most importantly, it feels like you are going to be asked to move out of your comfort zone at the very least, if not actually do physical travel. Keep an eye on the bigger picture. This is probably related to your bigger purpose, your bigger goals, and if you allow for that to sort of unfold, you might be surprised with the outcome. Take care of yourself this month. If there's any parts of your finance or life in general that are sort of not performing the way you want, it's time to move them out. It's time to maybe sell some things if they're just sort of sitting around. No stagnation. I don't want any of that for you. For relationships, you have a lot to bring. Allow for that to be seen, and don't be afraid to be bold in regards to sort of letting people see different colors, different sides of yourself. Finally, you have a really large group of people that you can pull on for assistance, young and old, so don't be shy. That's everything for this month. I hope it was helpful, and if you ever want more of a personalized reading, I do offer those. I'll post the link in the corner. And if you just like to keep in touch, the best way is to subscribe to the channel, but I also have a newsletter, and I'm very active on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. So all of those are great ways to keep in touch, and I'll post a link here. Finally, I want to offer gratitude for the time that you've allowed me to spend with you. It really means a lot, and keep up all of the likes, the subscribes, and the comments. It keeps me motivated, and I really appreciate hearing from you. So wishing you much love and prosperity, and also the diligence to kind of work through some of those financial, like you're going to be fine. Sat Nam, and I'll see you in a month. Bye-bye.